Howdy mates, top of the morning to you. Today marks Sunday, November 3rd, 2024. We have finally approached the day of when daylight saving time kicks in. We go an hour back. And I don't really care for it because that means it gets dark out even earlier in terms of the hours. But what can I say? I cannot control that. But welcome to what is known as the Shiprock, which is located in northwestern New Mexico. You may be wondering, why exactly is there a fence here, given that there's a grand geologic feature? Well, just past this fence is practically private property. Basically, what is in this area is Navajo reservations that were given to them, which took place shortly after New Mexico was annexed. But Shiprock, you can see it from a distance, unless if you have an authorized Navajo guide. In this case, I don't, so I can only view it from a distance. But Shiprock is an example of a volcanic neck, which basically means a long time ago there was a more grand composite volcano. And due to the process of differential erosion, that initial body, or that outer body of the volcano, eroded away due to the sandstone, which primarily explains why we have something like the Breta Badlands, for instance. But the rock that primarily makes up Shiprock is known as breccia, which is basically a mixture between igneous and sedimentary rocks. You figure you have magmatic fragments, such as obsidian, for example, which then binds together with other sedimentary rocks, such as that of sandstone, for example, or among other types. And basically, breccia is a rock that has unconsolidated magmatic fragments and even sedimentary fragments. So therefore, it's a little more resistant to erosion. And that is why you are seeing this remnant. Part of the reason why it's called Shiprock is it has to do with Hollywood. Apparently, the shape of it resembles looking at those old wooden ships with the masts open. Personally, when I first heard the name, I was like, Shiprock? It just wasn't a shape that I thought of right away. But nearby, if you look towards the right there, you may notice that there is a ridge. There's a particular geologic term for that. It is known as a dike. Dike, which basically, how it worked was when a volcanic eruption was occurring, it's an example of a magmatic intrusion happening through the crust. And basically it formed this opening, and as a result, it remains there due to it primarily being made up of igneous minerals. But basically, a dike it's like an intrusion. A good analogy that I like to use when it comes to a dike is, imagine you have a piece of cheese, right? The piece of cheese is that crust, like a slice of cheese. When you use a knife to cut that cheese, well, essentially, that knife is the dike. It is intruding that cheese or the crust, and that is essentially how it works. Just as a helpful little analogy. But still a neat feature nonetheless, considering that when you hear New Mexico, you may often associate it with just desert. It's not entirely true. Alright, I'm going to wrap up this film because I am cold. It is only in the 40s. Alright, you guys, take care. Journey on a Journey is onwards. See ya.